Now, let's take you to the Waterkloof Air Force Base in Pretoria, where the first flight carrying South African troops has now landed. Defence Minister Angie Motshekga is giving that address. Let's listen in.
Long day. I left home at about 4:30 to wait for you in Bloemfontein, and we kept on getting messages about challenges, and we really want to sincerely apologize for you even to wait to arrive here when you have been away from home for a long time. I'm sure it was very torturous. But I was also happy to see you in good spirits, kissing the ground. I found it very emotional, even on my part. And you have no idea, as much as you couldn't wait to come home, you couldn't wait to see you back home. So we're very happy that you are here. As the General has said, we'll work with you in terms of supporting you as you arrive, both in terms of your social needs, emotional needs, and make sure that indeed the debriefing process goes well. I don't want to take much of your time. As I said, I know we've been on the road for the whole day. We have prepared something for you to eat, but I'm sure you just want to go and rest and have your space, communicate with your families. But I really want to thank you most sincerely, express our joy to have you back. Looking forward to have the rest of the team. And so we're very happy to see you. We're very grateful for your role, for your contribution. We highly appreciate you. You may not have the, we're crossing our fingers, praying, and it was a very difficult time. But after all is said and done, we're very happy to have you back. Communicated with the President. He was here an hour back, and I said, no, don't worry, President. We will give you a chance to address your soldiers, but for now, let's allow them to arrive, rest, and if they have to really just get them to eat and be happy. But thank you very much. I don't want to take your time. I just want to say, really, Boyker, Seabulela, or maybe you're speaking now the Congolese. We're still together. So, General, thank you very much, General.
Thank you very much, Minister. Okay, thank you so much. Our colleagues from Joint Operations, they'll be with you and they'll be guiding you through. And all of the best. It's good to see you once again. Thank you so much.
Minister addressing now? Yeah. Is the Minister addressing now?
All right, so that was the Defence Minister Angie Motshekga at the Waterkloof Air Force Base out in Pretoria, addressing the 249 soldiers that have now landed at that Air Force Base, apologizing to them for the delays that they have experienced over the few days and them traveling back to South Africa, but also appreciating the fact that the soldiers were kissing the ground and were also in high spirits as they landed in South Africa. She also spoke about them ensuring that their social and emotional needs will be taken care of, and also just expressing her gratitude and joy at this first group having arrived back in South Africa. She said she spoke to President Cyril Ramaphosa a little earlier on, who's also keen and looking forward to addressing these soldiers. Let's now go take you back and listen in for those discussions.
I'm actually living with
He was crying. He was crying because of the only hope. Something alive.
As you can see there, that's the engagement between the minister and some of the soldiers, just asking them how they're doing. Because, I mean, as she was explaining a little earlier on, is that it's very important to understand their state of mind and why it's important for them to get a debrief. So she's engaging with them, asking them about their families, asking them about where their mind really is at emotionally and socially, what they're looking forward to. We're seeing that, so that's the greeting from the minister. She's spoken about the fact that they are sincerely very happy to have the soldiers coming back to the South African soil. She spoke about an incident where she saw some of them just so grateful as they arrive in South Africa and how much this means for the country. And she's spoken about the fact that the president as well was here. Now, you remember this peace mission had also seen about 14 of the soldiers pass away. So some of their friends, their colleagues, people they've worked with have passed away. So for them to come back home, it's a huge thing. It's a really big deal to finally have this moment. There's a lot more of those people that are coming back, or soldiers that are coming back. We know that it's going to be about 9 trips that they're going to be making back to South Africa. So a very critical moment for the minister, for the soldiers, the people that were in the mission, and what this means. Let's listen in slightly. Well, so as you can see there, Katlego, this moment becoming more emotional, more in attending to them as people. That hug she was speaking about with one of the soldiers is about the fact that they can be able to react back and what this means for them. Minister, we are live on Newzroom Afrika, and I don't mean to disturb you, but can you kindly give us an idea at this point? What does this mean for you to see the soldiers back? This mission was a very difficult one. 14 people had died.
No, it means a lot. I'm very happy that we are here. There's real hope that now we're going to get the rest back. We've just gone through the first hurdle, which had its own challenges. Now we know exactly what are the risks. So we'll deal with them. So I'm happy that by end of June, we are probably going to have all our soldiers that are supposed to come home arriving back home. But I'm very happy. As you can see, they're in high spirits themselves, and I'm very happy to touch the soil at home. They were even kissing the soil as they were getting off the plane. It was very emotional.
Yeah, no, it talks to the kind of stress that they were facing when they were in DRC. We heard how brutal. It talks to the kind of stress that they were faced with in DRC. And I suppose this is why the debrief is so important.
No, it's true. War is very stressful. I mean, when I saw them in Goma, I tell you, my heart went out for them. And at that time, it was the very difficult time when we just had lost some of our soldiers, some were in hospital. So it was a very difficult time when I went to see them. But subsequent to that, there were more difficulties where in some instances we were running short of food. We were not sure about really safe return. But to be where we are, I'm very happy and very encouraged and heartened. I'm very happy really to see the return phasing back.
Let's talk about the ones that are still left behind. What happens to them at this moment?
No, they are coming, so this plane is going to go back, pick up the next 250, so there are 9 trips, so we're left with 8. So that's why we say by month end. So where they are safe, they're in Tanzania, and I'm told that camp, that holding camp is also, the Tanzanians are running it very well. So yeah, they will be here by the latest next week.
And what does it mean then for the mission? Is it now completely done? What does this mean in terms of relations as well with DRC?
Sort of what a runny nose. No, what is happening currently, there were two groups. We have the MINOSCO, which is running under United Nations. Some of them are still there. This is the Summit DRC, which was run by SADC. So the military part of the Summit DRC is back. But what is happening now, there's engagement both by SADC and East Africa to assist the DRC into peaceful negotiations. So there is a process going on.
Thank you very much, Minister, for your time. Well, Katleho, details there from the Minister talking about what happens now with regards to this mission. And of course, she gets to interact with some of our colleagues, but also interacting with the soldiers. This is a mission that they're saying was very important, and it's not completely concluded. There's a lot that is still going to take place with regards to the conversations that they've had. And of course, these are some of the soldiers that have been able to arrive to home soil, and she speaks about the time, the relief that they had when they finally touched ground, what this means for them.
Well, certainly.
And this is very important for them.
Most certainly, Ngobile, I mean, we are seeing the minister there interacting with those soldiers, fondly referring to them as her children, hugging some of them, even if it goes against the protocol. And she also speaks about how well nourished they look. But of course, I think the deeper issues here speak to that debrief that needs to take place with regards to their emotional well-being.
And of course, yes, the emotional well-being being one of the priority list. And if you hear the ministers talking about what will happen in Bloemfontein. So once they are going to leave Gauteng, they're going to make their way to Bloemfontein. This is where they are going to be helped by the state. And they're saying that they're going to assist them to take every single step, one at a time, to assist them with whatever that they were not okay with. So to be able to debrief. So you remember that this was war. And what we have heard is that it was brutal, as we heard from the minister. But it's not just the minister that has spoken about the war in DRC. We've seen it make headlines. We've heard from the humanitarian people on the ground talking about how difficult it was for them to see some of people having exploded, trying to assist, and finding it very difficult to even get to some places. Some people couldn't even get to hospital, and how difficult this was for them to be able to continue to be at the war as people that were able to assist. So this war was not easy. This means that they require then a debrief so that they can be able to come back and go speak to their family members, be able to interact with the people that are important to them, but in a right state of mind. And this is why she was even talking to some of them, giving them hugs, just sort of giving them that comfort, that welcome home as the people that have done so well. They were out there being the heroes of South Africa, waiting for South Africa, showing up for South Africa, and this is what we know that they were doing. And so their arrival is something good for South Africa. And you'll remember there were a lot of conversations around getting the soldiers back and why this mission was taking place. But for them to be finally back in South Africa and the home soil is something that is being celebrated by SANDF and of course the country at large.
Ngobile, the minister spoke about some of the lessons that have been learned with bringing back this group of soldiers. Was there at any point where they explained why the diversion that we expected them to land in Bloemfontein at the Bloemspruit base, but instead we are now seeing them at the Waterkloof Air Force Base? Have they explained what happened in between for them to land there and not in Bloemfontein?
At this point, no, nothing has been explained. But of course, we are going to engage with the minister again to sort of get those details. She's just slightly held up at this very moment. But what we know about what's happening here in Gauteng is that the minister has also highlighted that a little earlier on, there was the president that was waiting for them to be here. So I suppose that would have been a time for them to interact with the president. But she herself saying that, no, the president doesn't have to to do that right now. They'll give them an audience and they'll give them a time to be able to speak to them. But of course, this is very difficult for the soldiers, but it's a happy moment for them to finally be able to come back home. So whether they're being addressed by the minister right now or the president right now, the key element being the fact that they are able to come back home. You'll remember 14 people lost their lives, but thousands of them were out there to assist.
Most certainly. We do know that they will be spending the night in Bloemfontein today. What's next for the soldiers? Have they spoken with regards to the protocol that's going to take place from now as they leave the Waterkloof Air Force Base?
Well, at the moment, what we understand is that the first thing that's going to take place is the debrief. That will be the first thing that will take place. And then from there onwards, well, the minister just highlighting that they're very tired. The trip was quite long. So that means that, first of all, they need to rest. And then there's going to be the debrief that's going to take place, which we understand is going to be more than one day. After the debrief, then they'll be able to interact in person with the people that, with their family members. But at this point, the priority being for them to get to their own place, to get to the military, to Bloemfontein. I mean, that's the main priority at this point. Katlego, I just want to show you most of them. You'll see some of them getting on their phones because this is the time to be able to speak to their families. This is the time for them to be able to interact with their families. So they are finally here in South Africa. They are finally in the home soil, and the engagements just and the relief that comes with them being in South Africa, being back home, is what the focus now is in. The minister talking about how sincere they are for them to have taken up the mission, how sincere it is for them to finally be back in South Africa.
Well, certainly, and of course, the spokesperson of the Defense Ministry that you were speaking to a little earlier on, Onika Kwakwa, saying that they only will be integrated back into society and with their families after 3 to 4 days.
Yes, of course, the integration process is going to take time, and that integration process is over 2 days. In fact, I am still with the spokesperson, so I'm going to try and confirm this. Onika, the integration is how long?
3 to 4 days.
Of course. So it's about 3 to 4 days that is going to take for them to be able to reintegrate back into the society.
Yes, they're going to get back into their various units, and then they'll be reintegrated back to their families.
Thank you very much, Onika. So, Katlego, that's how long it will take for them to be able to come back to the society that they've lived in. We are asking, of course, to interact with some of them, but we are told that at this very moment it's not the right time, so they will let us know when we are able to interact with some of the soldiers. But great relief right in front of us. They are back. They are the heroes, and they're the ones that have been able to come back home first, the first batch of the 9 flights that we are going to see coming back into the country. We know that it's up until June that they are going to be trying to get all the soldiers back into South Africa. So this is the process that is going to continue to take place until June. For now, they are going to be able to have something to eat. We know that they have organized a lunch for the soldiers, which is something that the minister is currently sorting out with regards to them being able to have something to eat. The trip has been very long. The war was traumatic, is what we have heard from the minister, and now they are finally back in South Africa, and it will take them about 2-3 days before they are able to go back to the society that they have always known.
Certainly a sense of relief for many of those soldiers, of course, for their families as well as they return. And the Defense Minister Angie Motshekga saying that there's now light at the end of the tunnel in ensuring that the rest of those that have been deployed to the DRC will return back to home soil by the end of June. That's Ngobile Madlala giving us an up-to-date feedback with regards to those soldiers that are now back on home soil.